Hi, welcome to today's deep dive lessons from Principal's book. Use feedback as a mirror for growth. Feedback is one of the most powerful tools for personal and professional growth, but many people see it as criticism and avoid it. Dalio learned that feedback should not be taken personally. It is simply a mirror showing you what others see and helping you notice what you might miss on your own. At Bridgewater, feedback is expected from everyone, no matter the position. Even junior employees can give feedback to senior leaders, including Dalio himself. There was a story of a new analyst who wrote a blunt review of a presentation Dalio gave, saying he was unclear and not engaging. Instead of being offended, Dalio thanked him and used that feedback to improve his future presentations. This type of openness encourages everyone to be honest and to grow. Feedback is not a punishment, but a gift. Dalio says the faster you learn to accept feedback, the faster you improve. People who avoid feedback often stay stuck in old habits, while those who welcome it adapt and thrive. Honest feedback helps you become the person you are capable of becoming. Beware of the two yous inside you. Dalio introduces the idea that there are two parts inside every person. One part is the thoughtful you that wants to learn, grow, and reach goals. The other part is the emotional you that reacts quickly, gets defensive, and avoids discomfort. The key to success is learning to manage the emotional you and let the thoughtful you lead. Dalio shares that when he was younger, he often reacted emotionally when challenged. Over time, he trained himself to pause, reflect, and ask whether his reaction was helping or hurting. He built habits like writing down his thoughts before acting and asking trusted colleagues for input. This helped him shift from reacting to responding. There was a moment when a big decision triggered anxiety in his team. Some people panicked, others froze. But those who paused and let their thoughtful selves take over helped steer the team calmly forward. Recognizing that these two parts exist helps us choose better actions in the heat of the moment. When we let the thoughtful self guide us, we make better long-term choices. Constantly evolve or fall behind in a fast-changing world, standing still is not an option. Dalio emphasizes that individuals and organizations must constantly evolve to stay relevant. He compares it to nature, where only the most adaptable species survive. Just as animals must adjust to changes in their environment, people must adjust to changes in their world. Dalio gives an example of how Bridgewater constantly updated its investment models to include new data and changing patterns in the economy. When others stayed stuck in old ways, they fell behind. He also changed roles over time, moving from leading the company directly to mentoring others and setting up systems that could run without him. Evolution requires being alert, curious, and willing to let go of what once worked. Many people get trapped by past success and resist change. But Dalio says that what got you here will not always get you there. If you want to keep winning, you must keep learning, growing, and transforming. That is true for individuals, careers, teams, and businesses. Measure success through clear metrics. Another important idea Dalio shares is the need to measure everything that matters. Without measurement, people tend to go by feelings or opinions, which can be misleading. At Bridgewater, they measure performance constantly, not just in financial results, but also in decision-making, communication, teamwork, and alignment with principles. These metrics helped identify patterns and make objective improvements. Dalio tells of how they once noticed that a team kept missing deadlines. Instead of blaming individuals, they studied the metrics and found a mismatch in responsibilities and expectations. Once that was fixed, performance improved. Measuring success brings clarity. It helps people stay accountable and spot problems early. In personal life, too, this principle works. If your goal is to improve health, measure your sleep, steps, and food. If your goal is financial freedom, track spending, saving, and investing. Measurement does not limit you, it empowers you. It gives a clear view of where you are and what steps you need to take. Train people to fish, not just feed them. A leader's job is not to give answers, but to help others learn how to find answers. Dalio uses the saying, give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for life. This means leaders should focus on building independent thinkers, not dependent followers. At Bridgewater, managers were expected to coach their teams, not control them. When someone made a mistake, they were asked what they learned and what they would do differently next time. Dalio tells of a time when a team member made a poor decision that cost the company money. Instead of stepping in to fix it himself, Dalio asked him to walk through the process and find where it went wrong. That reflection helped the person develop stronger judgment and avoid similar mistakes later. Teaching people to think for themselves builds stronger teams, more innovation, and long-term resilience. It is slower at first, but pays off over time. Do not confuse goals with desires. Many people say they have goals, but what they really have are desires. A desire is something you wish for without a clear plan or deep commitment. A goal is something you're willing to sacrifice for and work hard to achieve. Dalio says the difference between the two is important. If you want to be financially free, that may be a desire, but unless you create a plan, stay disciplined, and accept the pain required to get there, will not become a true goal. He shares the story of a team member who wanted to rise to a leadership position. When Dalio asked what he was doing about it, the person talked about wishing and hoping, but had taken few steps. Dalio helped him build a detailed plan and made him reflect on the sacrifices it would require. Over time, that person began acting with purpose and reached his goal. This shows that turning desire into a goal takes honesty, action, and a readiness to embrace discomfort. Only then does progress become possible. Thank you for listening, and please like the video and subscribe for more great upcoming content that will put you in top 1% people in the world.